G'day everyone. So, as you can see, we have a little bit of work done on this stock for the 73. As you can see, the action is inlet. It's pretty tight. It's a little bit of gap at the very back of the tang, right there. I'd say it's probably maybe a millimetre at the back. The reason why I have got more gap at the back as opposed to anywhere else is because it's a lot easier to move the action back into the stock than it is to do anything else. All you really have to do is just take a little bit off the shoulder here and make sure the back's not hold up. And the action should slide back into the stock. It's not a bad angle. There's a little bit more gap on this side if I'm bringing in close. Just a touch more gap. Sometimes a good slap with a rubber mallet at the end of the action is enough to really seat it in hard. But you have to be careful. You have to be able to actually take the action out of the stock again. It gets so tight sometimes that it gets stuck onto the stock. So, that's where we're at. My estimates for the angles is about maybe 5mm longer than the actual template, which is no problem because you can see the same amount of depth I have here is actually the same amount of depth I have here. So it's not going to affect the angle of the comb. It's not going to affect the depth of the comb. Because I have all this extra material to play with, which is why you don't ever want to cut on your line. I always give myself a little bit of extra wood in everything I do on these. So this is on when I do 92s. I've made a couple of stocks now for 92s from scratch, and I always do the tangs separately. So I haven't done the bottom tang on this action. You can see there it's removed. The reason why I do that is because I can actually use the action itself to align the channel that I'm going to chisel out of the wood. Plus it's a lot easier to move one piece of the tang, either the top or the bottom, in and out of a stock than it is to do a pair. So this is where we're at. So far I've spent about, 2 hours on it, getting it to the point where the top tang is inlet. If you look down the stock, you can actually see the stock lines up with the, get it on the right angle. Look, you can make it look wrong either way, but if you line it up properly, it actually does line up with the center line. So that's why we always get center line first on the stocks, is so that we don't go off-center. I wanted to do some chiseling and show you, like record the chiseling, but it's just too hard and it takes too long. And yeah, instead I'm just gonna do it my normal way, where I do a bit of an update, show you what it's like, and you'll see the next stage. All right, guys. By the next one, I'll probably have a bit of shape on the stock and maybe the bottom tang done as well. So I'll see you then.